Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, back to enact my scorched earth policy that makes all the hippies cry in my shuffle mode play of Don't Starve. And don't let the newly sprouted beard here on Wilson fool you, just because I'm sporting a pattern of facial hair commonly reserved for patchouli-scented employees in a vintage vinyl record store. That doesn't mean I necessarily share those values. For instance, not only did I clear-cut this forest of old-growth birch trees last episode, but the only album I've ever owned on vinyl was the soundtrack to The Empire Strikes Back, which my grandmother bought me when I was like 4 years old. And just because I haven't shaved in a day or two, which admittedly is not necessarily perfectly hygienic for Wilson, but it doesn't suddenly mean I'm really into the Doors or Jimi Hendrix or Jefferson Airplane. Though Grace Slick was pretty hot before decades of systematic drug abuse absolutely destroyed her. But, she's basically a sea hag from Popeye now, but before that happened, Grace Slick was pretty hot. Beard or no beard, though, Wilson is a man of action, and in this case, specifically actions that will have significant negative environmental impacts, so we've got that going for us. But it does have the added advantage of reducing hippies to tears, so let's get to it. Also, the reason I'm so stoked about the idea of reducing hippies to tears is everybody knows that somewhere, every time a hippie cries, somewhere a believer dies. It's basically like an evil version of Zuzu's Petals from It's a Wonderful Life. Hippie tears kill believers. It's poison to them. Hippie tears are anathema to believers. We do have a berry bush up here. We're going to start digging up some of these saplings as well, assuming we could get them home. We are running into a little bit of inventory issues. And we do probably need to circle back to our base, which I think we should sort of prioritize. We should pick those berries at least. Let's not leave the berries unpicked. So we get the berries, then we head back to base. No point in leaving food around. We can pick these flowers while we're at it. What are you? Oh, hey, it's the Pig King. Hello, Mr. Pig King. If I had something to give you that you would trade me for gold, I would absolutely do it, but I don't have anything you're going to be particularly interested in at the moment. Where was the berry bush? We saw the turkey ate them. Okay. Well, we got dicked by a turkey. So let's start heading back home, which we sort of need to just head due west. Go west, young man. Like Fievel and those that went before him. Westward ho! We're going to get back home, and we've burned most of our day. Would like to come back to this stone-walled area. Definitely some advantages. Probably going to be returning here. We can smash those stone walls just to get stone. Also, these evil flowers do have... What are you? Just an extra spear? I'll leave that for now. But those evil flowers are useful because we can use this to make nightmare fuel a little bit later. We are going to need some nightmare fuel, but they have a pretty damn hampening effect on your sanity, so I don't really want to pick those up just yet. Okay, we got, one of those cat things, alright. You can kill those for food, I don't normally mess with them. They would give us a morsel. Why am I not wearing a garland? Do I not? I have the things I need to make a garland? I should totally be wearing one. I guess my other one just rotted and I never noticed. More catbirds, catcoons. I'm not exactly sure what the name of those, what the particular name of those variety of critters are. They look like a cross between a cat and a raccoon, because, raccoons don't meow. No good deal about raccoons. Actually, my grandmother had a pet raccoon when I was a child. It lived in a bread drawer. She had a pet raccoon that lived in her bread drawer. Its name was Snooky. Snooky was an asshole. It was, like, the worst pet of all times. It hated everyone but my grandmother. Let that be a lesson. Don't get a pet raccoon, I guess would be the specifics of that lesson. Don't get a pet raccoon. We also, at some point, really need to start digging up saplings and hauling them back to base, but at current moment, I'm more concerned with getting ourselves back to base before the fall of night, because we're not exactly making a blistering pace here. Wilson is definitely... he's a man of many parts. He's good at a lot of things, but one of those things that he is not good at is, let's say, overland dashing. He's not particularly gifted in that respect. Wilson is never going to be a long-distance marathoner or perhaps an Olympian or anything like that. More pedestrian pursuits, I think, are probably better suited to Wilson. A lot of spiders here. We're just going to try and avoid them. I don't really feel the need to fight the spiders. What the fuck is this? I can give this parrot things. Well, I don't want to give the parrot a carrot. Although giving a parrot a carrot does have some rhyming value. I gave the parrot a carrot. It didn't care about it a bit. I'm not clever. So we are running out of daylight here, Wilson. And we're not home yet. Although we have kind of expanded our map considerably, so that's good. How close are we to home? I'm not sure we're going to be able to make it before nightfall. We may be stuck out in the wilderness for another day, which, you know what? Maybe if we take the road will provide the speed that we need in order to get to our destination. Follow the yellow brick road, Wilson. It will take you to Oz, where a man will lie to you and convince you of things that are not true, because that wizard was kind of a douche canoe. Especially, I'd like to point out when it comes to the douche canoe thing, the James Franco version of the wizard. That guy was a straight-up dickbag. Nobody breaks Mila Kunis's heart, god damn it. Nobody. I simply will not stand for that shit, James Franco. You don't get to break Mila Kunis's heart. Mila Kunis did nothing to you. She didn't deserve that. Alright, so let's start making... I guess that's probably going to be ratatouille. Do we have any varieties of meats? We do not. Alright, let's throw these petals on the ground, let them start rotting. We got a lot of berries here, though. That's good. Put this poop in our chest. Okay, our chest is full. I did figure out what Weber's skull does. Apparently you need to bury Weber's skull, and you actually use that to unlock Weber, which is interesting, but not really a priority at the moment. I'm going to roast these and eat them. I just want to get them out of my inventory. We'll harvest our crock pot. Well, actually, you know what? Let's check this in the fridge. And start making... Oh, we have monster meat in here. Alright, so let's put one chunk of monster meat on the drying rack. Put the other one back. You know what? No, let's throw the monster meat in here. Let's see if we can make kebabs with this. I don't know if you can make monster meat kebabs or not, but damn it, we're going to find out. Wilson is not only a gentleman scientist, but when it comes to kitchen science, Wilson is the man. He loves the culinary sciences. Wilson is not afraid to get experimental in the kitchen. He's basically kind of like he's basically an Alton Brown of survival games. We also want to get back to our fire before we get devoured by a monster and murder this rabbit. Sorry, bunny. We'll stoke our blaze a little. We can dig these seeds. You know what? I bet I should feed seeds to that parrot. Parrots are birds. Birds eat seeds. Birds like seeds. Probably would be the right way to go. This bone shard, I don't really know what to do with that. Let's build another chest. Our chest is full. I wouldn't mind getting another one up. So let's get that started. What do we need? 3 boards. We can probably easily refine that. Yeah, okay, so build. 2. And don't we have actually 1 in our chest? We do. Alright, let's take that then. And structures, build me another chest, and we'll put that next to our first chest. Good. And let's start offloading shit. We should actually put all our fruit in the fridge here. Not storing food in the refrigerator seems definitely suboptimal. And that did make kebabs. Fantastic. I'm stoked about that. In the crock pot then. Toss in a couple handfuls of berries. Let's throw in some sticks. Where did I get dark petals? Okay. Where did I get dark petals? I don't want to eat them. Let's just throw them in there. And we'll throw them in there. It's fine. Anything we can store in here, we actually should probably store. So anything we don't really want to just carry around. 2 stacks of logs. We're a little low on flint, but we can consolidate our stacks. Actually, we're not low on flint at all. We have shit tons. Anything else we want to get rid of? The rest of it's all food, and food goes in the refrigerator. We also need to start harvesting these berries so they regrow. Got a big crop of berries over here just waiting to be picked. We need to do that. Also, I need to pick them before a fucking turkey comes along and robs my berry larder. I'm not going to have some turkey eating all of my berries. Piece of shit, turkey. No jive, turkey. Going to eat my berries. You mess with tea. Tea will... see, there. Okay. All right, turkey. That's it. Oh, you're going to die, turkey. You stay away from my berry farm. I will beat you to death, turkey. You just want to fucking strut around here like you're cock of the walk, like you own the yard? Yeah, I'll show you who's cock of the walk, sir, and it ain't you. Let's put this stuff in the fridge, then. I appreciate the bird bringing me its delicious flavor. Put those drumsticks in there. We do want to make sure our crock pot is cooking at all times. So maybe, I don't know, take this morsel, put you in a crock pot, toss some berries in. You know, I gotta say, I don't think the rabbit meat, berry, and sticks for kebabs, it doesn't really strike me as a fantastic... Eat it, bird. It doesn't really strike me as a fantastic recipe. I don't think I would eat that. I just don't. We do need to start getting our shovel into play, though, vis-a-vis saplings. Apparently, you don't need to. Someone was kind enough to let me know that you don't need to, you actually don't need to fertilize saplings. When you bring them back, you can just straight up use those right away. We're going to reset these traps. Murder a couple bunnies, get ourselves a few more morsels. And we're trying to stockpile. I'm trying to stockpile as much food as I can. Because, like Sean Bean, the wise man himself, once said, winter is coming. and it's only a matter of time before we start running into the harsh realities of life in Westeros. I lie. No game is as harsh as the realities of life in Westeros. Westeros is a thoroughly awful place, and no one should ever want to live there. It is... Oh, we got another bunny. This is what life is like in Westeros. Let me show you how it feels to live in Westeros, demonstrating by this bunny. You're walking along, you come out of your hole, bam, you're just fucking murdered for no reason, because Westeros is awful. Everyone dies all the time. I'm not saying that makes it a bad story. I love Game of Thrones. It's a fantastic show, but you gotta admit, it's a goddamn brutal place, and you would not want to live there. So morsel in, more berries in, and stick in. We got a big, fresh supply of kebabs. I mean, if we're having a drunken night out on the town in, say, Great Britain, when we come back, our kebab supply is going to be fantastic. Alright, we don't really need any more bunnies. That fucking Clockwork Pope is still hoarding his carrots. Oh, I see you over there with your carrot, Mr. Clockwork Pope, thinking you're better than me just because you have carrots. I beg to differ, sir. I beg to differ. Just because you have carrots does not make you better than me. It makes you not starve, which is probably, you know, something I'm not necessarily going to achieve, but still. Alright, so we're going to start gathering sticks, rooting up these saplings, taking them back to base, and build up a stick supply for ourselves. And we got a nice little sapling forest here. Okay, we'll pick up the twigs. Pick it. Did our shovel break? Our shovel has broken. We can build a new shovel. Alright, Wilson. Get to doing it, man. Start digging. Start picking. Pretend like this is a TLC show and you're on American Pickers. And that you want to pick pretty much everything. There we go. Alright, making good progress. And to the commenter who told me about the spacebar thing, seriously, thank you. You are my fucking hero. This is way more easy than having to click everything. Yeah, it's going to be dark soon, Wilson. You're fine. Actually, we need to cut some trees. Let's make that happen. Start chopping. Chippity chop goes the Wilson. Chop, 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 mate. Chop, chop. And the picking, more chopping. You're starting to look like a burly man. Speaking of which, we actually need to shave Wilson's beard. Having a long beard does inhibit Wilson's sanity slightly. We want to try and keep the beard problem to a minimum, if possible. So let's just replenish our supply of logs. We used them to make some planks. Alright, let's get our shovel out then, and we'll just dig up these stumps. This time, Wilson is clear-cutting, and somewhere a hippie cried, and a believer may or may not have just expired. I mean, depending on how into my mythos of the whole believer tier thing you are, it's possible that we just murdered one right there, because we are clear-cutting this forest. And not only are we clear-cutting, but we're, like, not even leaving any evidence or potential for regrowth. We're salt in the earth, basically. Taking it out and then just doing stump removal. I mean, this is just insult to injury for the hippies. Probably should get back towards town. Pick some grass on our way, it won't hurt. We are going to need to replace our rabbit basket traps at some point. They eventually do just wear out. They can only catch so many things. So we may as well just scavenge as we go. It's the Mad Max way. You find what you need on the road. And if somebody has things that you need and they're not willing to part with them, in the Mad Max way, you just kill them and take it. It's a pretty straightforward society. I mean, sure, it's awful, but I still like it better than Westeros. That's an interesting question. If I had to live in Westeros, or I had to live in post-apocalyptic Mad Max style era, say like if I had to live in Bartertown, by chance. My choices are Westeros or Bartertown. I legitimately don't know which awful reality I would prefer to take. We're actually going to have to eat these kebabs because we're kind of hungry. That's a pretty damn hard choice. Now, granted, you do have the sort of operatic, over-the-top, cartoonish evil that you get with the Mad Max that you don't necessarily get in Westeros. I mean, everything in Westeros is horrible. Pretty much in the same fashion as everything is horrible in the kind of Mad Max setting. But, who in Westeros can compare to Immortan Joe? I mean, the guy had a giant chromed-up face mask. It comes down really to a matter of style. That's what you gotta admit. I mean, sure, a lot of people in Westeros are fucking axe-crazy assholes who will murder you at the drop of a hat just because they don't like the look of your face. But none of them are gonna do it with the kind of style and panache that Immortan Joe brings to the table. I mean, they just don't do it. The closest they were gonna get, I mean, the closest you were gonna get to an Immortan Joe, Khal Drogo kinda had a little bit of Immortan Joe flair. I mean, he was definitely a rogue badass, but still, if your choices are Immortan Joe or Khal Drogo, I mean, they're both gonna kind of do bad things to you in that, you know, it's not going to end well for you. But specifically, I think I'd have to go for Immortian Joe, because say what you want, that cat's got style. I mean, he's a murderous thug and a scumbag, but the style? Oh, he's got the style. He's got it. I probably don't want to put a sapling in here. It's more of a stick kind of thing. There we go. All right, let's get those kebabs cooking. Do I have any more monster meat? I do not. All right, we got more berries, got kebabs. We should probably roast these red caps. You know, they're fine. We don't really need to mess with them. Let's put these berries in here. And I think we'll do one more day of scavenging. We'll just let those cook. And as soon as dawn breaks, I say we go back east over in this direction. Although, we need to finish planting our saplings, really. I don't want to drop them. I would like to plant these. Could I please plant them? There we go. And one more. All right, so that's got us a bit of a stick farm for saplings. And we kind of need to start thinking about maybe doing a little battling here. Let's drop these petals here and just let them rot. And alright, we're going to take... Yeah, we'll just throw this in the fire. It's fine. Food is good. I think we gotta start going to battle. We're going to need to do some battle with those spiders. We know where they're at. I think we go spend a day, back to battle, go get us some spider-on-spider action. We, of course, avoid the Clockwork Pope, because that guy is kind of an asshole. Seriously, Clockwork Pope, man, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. How do you ever expect to get a loyal cadre of worshippers when you behave the way that you behave, sir? I mean, your behavior, let's face it, it's pretty questionable. I don't think people are going to feel the loving power of your god if all you do is shoot deadly beams at them every time they come in. I try to come in, do a little worshiping, and say, hey, you know, what have you got to offer me, Clockwork Pope? What is your religion all about? What do you think about the afterlife and things of that nature? And then the only thing the Clockwork Pope has to do is, like, you walk into my church and I shoot you with a death laser. That's probably a religion that doesn't have strong potential future, Clockwork Pope. Let's go see if these Hog Men that we discovered earlier will do us some more favors in the killing spider department. We did take advantage of the pigmen earlier. We should have probably brought some petals to feed to the pigmen while we're over here, because we do still need manure. Farms are one thing we really kind of need to get up and working. So the pigmen are going to help. Fantastic. Yeah, keep on them. Oh, that's cool. You keep killing those spiders, hog boys. This is my loyal team of hog men. Yeah, don't stop and pick a sapling, actually. I wanted you to fight the spider. Swing, spider. Come on, swing, batter. There you go. I'll take your monster meat. Oh, I can't carry monster meat. Shit. Can I carry this? Alright, I'll just eat the monster jerky. Oh, that was not... Okay, so don't eat monster jerky. Important lesson. Don't jump in the wormhole. Alright, we got another spider gland. That's good. We're going to pick that up. What else is this? More monster meat. I'm guessing the pigmen were triumphant. They were, in fact, triumphant and brought me silk. Thank you. Thank you, pigmen. I appreciate the silk. I appreciate the gifts that you have given them to me, oh pigmaster. If we give seeds to a pigman, will they poop? Pigman, will you poop if I give you a seed? Poop for me? You did not poop for me. You scumbag. Ah, damn disappointing hog, man. How dare you not poop when I ask you to poop? Pick this up. Give that to you. I'm gonna pick this up. You know, the spider glands I'm just gonna use. We're a little injured. We need more room, so give me the poop. And we're gonna go get some more poop by feeding another one of these delicious hogmen. I have to assume hogmen would be delicious. I mean, you gotta assume that they eat pretty well. I have petals for you, Mr. Pigman, and you have for me delicious manure, and I will take it. But I have to assume that sentient pig beasts would be delicious. I mean, pork is pretty good in general, but a pork with a face, I mean, that's gonna be top-notch eating. Pork with personality, really? I mean, you gotta assume it would have great personality. It'd be like Babe or something, Pig from the City. I mean, that's... Oh, tentacle beast. We gotta watch out. Wouldn't mind trying to lure some of those hog guys down into Tentacle Town. Not sure how we would do that without actually attacking the hogmen, which is something I don't necessarily relish the thought of. Eating a hogman, that's fine, but I don't want to have to do the dirty work of actually killing the hogman. I mean, that's just too much of a problem for me. I can't be arsed to deal with the hogman. I really can't. Alright, so still a fairly good trip. We picked up a couple extra silk, and we may need to look into doing something with that silk. I want to see how much we need for a prestidigitator. Wouldn't mind getting that up and running if we could. Magic is going to be a useful resource for us. Potentially allows us to also combat the stylings of the Clockwork Popes up here, because some of the magic stuff offers ranged attacks, which I really have a strong feeling we're going to need to defeat the likes of the Clockwork Pope. They seem pretty powerful. I mean, he is the Pope. I mean, he's probably rich, too. To say richer than a Pope, there's a reason they say that. Yeah, you can't carry any more stuff. Just stick it in the fridge. Put it in the ice box. Take my kebabs and also put them in the ice box. Also take these berries and put them in the ice box. I didn't take a shit. I leave a shit. Where did you leave it? In the ice box. Okay, thank you, Jeff. I miss George Carlin. He was funny. Alright, so the birds are picking at my petals, but I don't really have to feel too terribly concerned with that. We really should stop eating all of our seeds, but our lack of farms admittedly makes seeds not necessarily useful. Speaking of which, we have some more poop now. Do we have enough to build a farm? Dark petal, wrong chest. We have 3 poop, which I'm pretty sure is not enough to build a farm. Let's see exactly what we need to build a farm, actually. Survival, farms are under food, I think. Basic farm takes 4 poop. I want to build improved farms. If I'm going to start them, I'm going to build improved farms exclusively. So we need 6 poop. We gotta find some beefalo, man. That's all there is to it. We gotta find ourselves a herd of beefalo. We need some beefalo. Beefalo action? Hot beefalo action. And by that I mean like hot, delicious, meaty flavored beefalo. We also don't need these reeds. I'm not even sure what those are for yet. What about our prestidigitator? We prototyped magic. What do we need for a prestidigitator? We need 4 live rabbits, 4 boards, and a top hat. What do we need to make a top hat? Straw, a top hat. We need 6 silk. Okay. So that's actually pretty reasonably easily achieved to pick that up. We could do that fairly quickly. We just need 2 more silk. The pigmen have murdered all the spiders that are available for now. We're too short, but that may be the focus of our next little journey. Next time we may try and focus on getting a couple more silk and building ourselves a top hat. We do need to shave. I mean, come on, Wilson, you're looking a little scruffy here. Looking like a hippie is one thing. Actually adopting a hippie lifestyle, sir, that's another thing entirely, and a thing I am not too terribly sanguine about. Once you burn your beard hair, Wilson with some clear self-loathing issues. Any other maintenance tasks we kind of need to do while we're here? Our petals haven't rotted yet, so we can't really fertilize this. We didn't pick up any more saplings. All right, let's get our backpack back on. Our log suit took a little damage, but, you know, all things considered, it's probably fine. We should consider a pretty parasol. Just in case it rains, I'm a little concerned about that. Yeah, let's do it. It's only going to take 6 of our available petals, and then we can throw the rest on the ground and let them rot. The pretty parasol also has the added advantage of not going bad. We'll store that for now, and if a rainy time comes along, we can pick up our pretty parasol and use that to help keep ourselves dry. More seeds into the pot. We should probably be cooking as well. I don't need my hammer. What do we got in the ice box? So, do we have any source of meat? We do. Let's take a monster meat, throw that in the crock pot. I want some of these berries, actually. 1, 2 berries, and throw in a stick. Start another rack of kebabs for us. We got them cooking. Wilson, culinary master. Somewhere Alton Brown is proud of Wilson's culinary chops. The man is making some fantastic dishes with not a lot to work with. Culinary science. It's Wilson's fucking specialty. And with Wilson's specialty underway, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. If you enjoyed this episode of Don't Starve, feel free to drop a like down in the comments section. Of course, your support does mean a lot to us. Like a new religion, based on a clockwork pope, we do need all the support we can get. And if you'd like to see more Don't Starve, I consider subscribing as well. We post new episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching. And with dawn breaking, we'll see you again next time. Although make sure you don't actually see Breaking Dawn, because it's a terrible film.